A bear walks into a bar and says, "I'll have a whiskey and a Coke." Bartender's like, "Why the big pause?" Bear shrugs and says, "I don't know. I was just born with them." Hey kids, Adam here. Today we're going to do a little fun vocal effect that I call the troll vocal. It's that like deep, pitch shifted type vocal effect that you hear in all sorts of different songs. The first one I really remember was when I was a kid and the David Lee Roth Skyscraper album came out and the song Hot Dog and a Shake. And let me play you a little bit for you right here. So that was a big time thing. David Lee Roth loved doing stuff like that. By the way, that's a great album. Steve Vai on guitar, Billy Sheehan, one of my heroes, on bass, Greg Bissonette on drums, and of course Diamond Dave himself. Last band that was together that Steve Vai and Billy Sheehan played on. Some great, amazing bass and guitar stuff on that album. But I digress. So the troll vocal. Number of ways you can get that done. I'm going to show you one now, and I'm going to try to recreate one now. And if it's a big giant failure, you won't see this video, so I don't know even why I just said that. Let's head over to Reaper. I'll show you what I'm talking about in one of my songs. All right, so here we are on Reaper. This is my band Underground Hive song Get Up. Will be featured on the new album with a release date of April 30th, and you can hold me to that. So here's the part that we have. I'll play it for you here.
Come on, baby, let's go.
So you can hear that real deep, what do we call it, a troll voice. And I'll solo it out here.
Come on, baby, let's go.
And Dylan has this naturally lower pitched voice. He's been, kind of crooner, maybe Dave Bowie, Jim Morrison type. So he actually just sang this. There was no pitch shifting involved. Let me show you how I process this real quick. So we have an EQ. I did basically the telephone vocal EQ, and I'll put a link up to that right here. There's a high pass filter, there's a low pass filter, and there's a mid bump. Mid bump's not too drastic. It's 4.5 dB at like 1.7K. And then I took out a little bit of this kind of woofy chest voicey 250 hertz, just 2 dB out of there. So without any of the EQ, and I'll have to crank the volume up here.
Come on, baby, let's go.
You can tell it's like really deep and really muddy. And the normal, the first reaction of, I want to get this lower vocal to cut through and make this really kind of troll vocal sound is to crank up the bass. And actually, it's the opposite of that. I'm actually doing a high pass filter at 121 hertz, taking all that bass out because we just want the sound to come through. And the best way to make it cut through is to actually have those lower frequencies that are going to muddy everything up, get them out of there. So I'll do it before and after the EQ, and you can see how much it cleans it up and how much it stands out now.
Come on, baby, let's go. Come on, baby, let's go.
And it really jumps out. I mean, it takes that whole low muddiness, which once you get, especially like distorted guitars and bass and things in there, it's just you're gonna lose that anyway. Next thing I do is I take 1176 compression, and I hit it pretty good. I hit it with like 7 to 10 dB of gain reduction, and then a bunch of output gain to increase the volume on this, just because this was such a low track. I wanted to use compression to bump it up rather than just a fader. So here's before and after. Here's after the compression with all the volume in it.
Come on, baby, let's go.
And that just helps smooth the whole thing out so you can hear all the words. Now the next two things I do, the first is my Vox Air trick, which you can see the video up here. It's basically adding a whole bunch of highs to the as a send to accentuate those frequencies, and that helps everything kind of stick out. So before and after that.
Come on, baby, let's go. Come on, baby, let's go.
And now you can hear everything just kind of sticking out. A lot of air under it, but still has those low frequencies. And the final thing I do is just an exciter. I put this on a send. It's the Waves Exciter track, and I just put this, crank it all the way up. So before and after that.
Come on, baby, let's go. Come on, baby, let's go.
What you get is you get this troll voice that actually sticks out over the music. And again, we'll play it in the mix.
Come on, baby, let's go.
And it's just this really cool troll voice. All right, so that's one way to do it. Dylan has that naturally lower voice, so it's much easier for him to just sing something like that than do it by effects. What if you have a voice like mine, which is not very low, and it's higher? I used to sing like Rush style leads as a kid. I wasn't any good at them, but that doesn't mean I didn't try. So let me try with my voice here. I'm going to create a new track. I am going to record arm it, change the input to my microphone. Microphone test, check. That seems fine. And let me back this up a little bit and try to record this on time with everything else that's going on. Here we go. Come on, baby, let's go. See what it sounds like. Come on, baby, let's go. That sounds kind of bad, but let's see what we can do. I'm going to trim this out. I didn't mute my mic with the speakers and everything going on. Normally, if I'd record vocals, it would record with headphones so that you don't get any bleed through. For this, I think it's probably fine the way it is. Let me try by just dragging over the same EQ and compression that we have on Dylan's voice here. And I'll just go with the EQ first. Come on, baby, let's go. Come on, baby, let's go. I think probably a little more highs in there. Come on, baby, let's go. Maybe move back the high pass filter a little bit. My voice is naturally higher than Dylan's, so I'll need a little bit more of that low end to come through. Come on, baby, let's go. And to find that kind of chesty, woofy voice, I'll kind of sweep around here and then cut it. Come on, baby, let's go. Come on, baby, let's go. Right there seems good. About 2 or 3 dB or so there. And then this highs can probably be accentuated a little bit. Come on, baby, let's go. That seems good. Let's add the compressor on it. And I'll probably want to dial this output down a little bit. Come on, baby, let's go. And down the input a little bit. Come on, baby, let's go. Come on, baby, let's go. Come on, baby, let's go. That seems pretty good. And then we'll bring in both the Vox Air and the exciter. I'll just bring it at the same levels. Come on, baby, let's go. And lower it in volume. If I play it with the mix right now, and I'll mute his track out. Come on, baby, let's go. Come on, baby, let's go. Come on, baby, let's go. We're missing one thing. We're missing the troll part of it. So if you solo this out again, if you double click on this media item, there is this pitch adjustment in semitones. You can also do this with repitch. There's a number of other plugins you can do this with. I find especially if it's a little short thing like this, you can do this right in the item itself. Let's drop it down just -6 and see what it sounds like.
Come on, baby, let's go.
We're getting there. A little bit more. Let's try -10. See what that sounds like.
Come on, baby, let's go.
That sounds pretty good. Let's play that with Dylan's.
Come on, baby, let's go. Come on, baby, let's go.
And I think I almost nailed it right there. So let's try this in the mix.
Come on, baby, let's go.
And I think actually now I have too much of the high end, and so I'm going to pull this exciter way back and the Vox Air back a little bit. See what this sounds like.
Come on, baby, let's go.
Sounds pretty good. Let's hear in the mix.
Come on, baby, let's go.
And there you go. You get my voice, which doesn't really fit into this song too well, even though I may be doing some backgrounds in here. But my troll voice.
Come on, baby, let's go.
And I turned it way up there so you could hear it in the mix. So play it one more time in the mix.
Come on, baby, let's go.
There's a number of things I could do. I would probably tweak the EQ a little bit, make it a little less snappy, crispy on the top end, and kind of roll off some of that and make it rounder sounding. But there it is. If you don't have anyone that's freakishly strange, you can sing that low octave like Dylan can. You can do it with your own voice and just pitch shift it down. And the beauty about pitch shifting is it doesn't change the time stretch of it all. So you sing it in time, you get it all set up to where you're in time with the music, and then you pitch shift it and it lowers the whole thing down for you. So if you like this video, if you like these kind of little tips and tricks and fun things, let me know in the comments. I love it when you guys leave me comments, especially when you tell me that there's an easier way to do something, because I may be having a new series, if you haven't seen it by now, called the something about simplification and making your choices easier. I have to work on the title, but let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe, ring the little bell thing, and if you want to support me a little bit further, there's a link down below to buy me a Coke. Until next time, have yourselves an awesome week. And this replay the video, and we hope that it doesn't get blocked, because that would suck. Why does that sound like that?